In Kenya, for example, now we find that yet again we have come to a situation where there's no real opposition. And if you go back to our history, in the 60s, Kanu Kadu, there was the absorption of an opposition party. It happened in the late 90s. It happened in the early 2000s. It happened in 2003. It happened with the handshake. And it looks like our political actors usually find a way to come together, usually when there is a national crisis. But was the Gen Z really a national crisis, or was it a time of reckoning? And is that a missed opportunity? Is Kenya the same, or have the political class just reset and continued as usual, as business as usual?
Thank you. Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Daniel Musinga, and our judges, our friends who are here today. Thank you very much, Dimas, for that question. Dimas, what you have described is actually what has been the history of the Kenyan people. Kenya has had opposition, yes, but at the crucial moments, the people who have driven Kenya to the changes that we enjoy to date, who are not just the opposition, but the people of Kenya, the civil society, and the people who felt that there needs to be change. If you look back to the areas that you have talked about, leading up to the realization of the 2010 Constitution, what the Gen Zs have brought to the fore is the fact that it's Article 1 of the 2010 Constitution that says power belongs to the people. Allow me, and as Willie said, right now the world is a global village. The Gen Zs have captured it. They are the young people. They are the people of Kenya. Actually, if you look at the demography, 60% of our population, even here in India, are the people below 40. For Kenya, it is even lower. They are the majority of our populations. They are the people who feel the need that they don't have incomes, they don't have jobs, their education, their parents are suffering, they're living in deplorable conditions, and they drive the economy and the changes that need to be done. Look at in India. Mahatma Gandhi had to come back from South Africa, where he lived for 21 years, up to 1915, to come and drive the changes that drive India to date. When you go to some of the industries in this country, they believe that for them to have economic transformation, they had to start from their cottage industries, have their own products, however little it was, not to rely on imports. Coming forward, you realize that we are living in a situation where the debt burden, the debt rationale, what they charge African countries for debt is much higher in terms of interest rates. When I was practicing, in my early practice, borrowing from America was 3.5%, actually 3%. And I could see my clients borrowing from America, bring the money into Kenya, and lending at 28, 29%. And our central bank, with all the regulatory powers, were not coming in. The Gen Zs capture these things in the internet at an instant, at a follow-up on TikTok. And they explain and they mobilize each other. They have better mobilization tools than our generations had. And as the president said, this is time for action, not reflection. And that's what the Gen Zs have done. On Tuesday, when we were boarding our aircraft coming to Delhi through Dubai, China jailed the chairman of the central bank for accepting a bribe of $16.9 million. Not just jailed, it was a death sentence passed. Judge, you're saying yes, but we are... Because the facts are there, as Willie said. These are hard facts. We might just be bringing a case to court soon for some of us who are in litigation, for jailing, for private prosecution, because the facts are there. The decisions that are made, like what you said, we borrowed so much, we took a sovereign bond of so much, and never came to us. So Dimas, it is not lack of opposition. In fact, in my view, there has never been any strong opposition. It is the forest the same. No, it's the monkeys. Yeah, yeah, it is the monkeys. So these people keep on recycling, and the Gen Zs have realized this, and it is something they're evolving on a daily basis. So that every time you watch the news, you read the papers, you go into the internet, you realize there's something new that is happening basically on the economic front. On public interest litigation on the action front, I think India has led. If you look at your constitution amendment 46 of 1976, where you brought in now serious economic issues, Kenya Article 43 of the economic rights and social justice issues. We are looking at the areas of health, agriculture, gender, children's rights. They are all now in our constitution. What is remaining is justiciability. For a long time, we were wondering in litigation, how do you actualize these economic rights that we have in the Constitution? Can you go to court and actually say, now I have a right to housing in the Constitution, and I don't have a house, I don't have a dwelling, a decent, as recognized under the international minimum protocols. So these are some of the things that I believe the Gen Zs are up to task. In fact, it is their generation, not ours. For those of us who are in this room, I almost 100% believe we might just be for reflection. Action belongs to the Gen Zs, and they are up to the task. Thank you.